these are positive. So it's gonna be like a rambly type of video. I'm gonna be reading them, talking about them, and I'm gonna share with y'all. I have 5 to share with y'all that are my personal favorite, and then I found a Reddit thread where people shared their favorite quote. What is it called? What is your absolutely favorite quote you've ever heard? I have always liked reading quotes. When I was little, that was like one of my favorite hobbies. I would go on Google and literally just Google quotes and then images, and I would just read for the longest time. I would read all these quotes, and then I would Google love quotes, friendship quotes, life quotes, family quotes. I was obsessed with quotes, and I just loved little poems and little quotes, and I just loved feeling inspired. So I hope that this brings a little bit of positivity to your day, to your night, and maybe a little bit of inspiration. I just love it, and we're just gonna be rambling a little bit about all of these. This is the second video that I'm filming tonight, so I am wearing the same shirt as my last video, and don't mind my frizzy hair. But yeah, let's just get right into it. So starting with one of my favorites, I'm gonna do mine first. Every disappointment is getting you closer to something good happening. Every disappointment is getting you closer to something good happening. So when something bad happens in my life, yeah, it totally sucks. It totally sucks. But whenever you get disappointed, just know that better things are coming, and I feel like that's kind of hard to believe. Let me fix my angle. I feel like that's kind of hard to believe when you're really going through something. But remember that it's bad things don't happen forever. There is always good. There's always good to come, and there's always good in this world. So if you're really going through a disappointment right now, just know that there's only so many disappointments before you get a good surprise, something positive, something good in your life. This quote has really helped me remember when I go through something. It's like, yeah, this sucks, but also feel some type of joy, because it's like, well, at least this means that this wasn't for me. This wasn't for me. This wasn't meant to happen. Whatever. Or this wasn't meant to be. That's what I meant. And so I should be happy that I get to move on. I get to move on to something better and bigger. And yeah, I keep getting disappointed, but eventually something good is gonna happen. Every disappointment is getting you closer to something good happening, which I personally really like that. And everybody's different. Like, some of y'all might think these are stupid, but I like these. So if you have better ones, let me know. Number two. Oh gosh, I almost knocked over my camera or my phone. Number 2, and I do have my laptop over here. It is being noisy. You know how laptops breathe loud. So I'm sorry. Hopefully it turns off here in a bit, and I hope that it's not too loud. I hope it's not too loud. Number 2, instead of thinking of everything as a loss or goodbye, think of it as a hello. Instead of thinking of everything as a loss or goodbye, think of it as a hello. And I absolutely love this, because when I heard it, it really helped me. graduated and you're saying goodbye to your classmates and to your student life and your friends, but you're saying hello to new friends, new opportunities, and it's a special day that you've worked hard for. You're saying hello to a new stage in your life, adulthood, and more freedom. So, whenever I graduated college, it was really hard because every time that I start a new stage in my life, I guess I don't like change because I get really sad and I'm like, I don't want to graduate, I don't want to move, I don't want to do this, start a new job, I don't like change. And I guess I have to, because especially when I enjoy what I do, like, yeah, college is hard and like sometimes it does suck, but I really enjoyed the friends that I had. I really enjoyed my professors, and I was sad to, and scared, not just sad but also scared to move on, to say goodbye and to start over and to come into adulthood. And I guess you gotta remember, or I guess you gotta change your perspective. I had to change my perspective and think of it as, it's not a goodbye to my, like, yeah, it is, but it's not. Don't think of it just as a loss. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna become an adult, like, it's gonna suck. But think of it as a hello. It's not goodbye to your friends, your college life, but it's also a hello to, like, these new opportunities. I get to work in a field that I love. I get to learn in my new job. I get to meet new coworkers and make new friends and impact people's lives. I get the freedom of being more financially independent and traveling with my new job. And it's like, don't think of it as just a bad thing. Think of it as like, oh my gosh, I'm excited for the next thing. And yeah, even though I'm gonna miss this chapter in my life, I shouldn't be too sad about change. I should be happy because new things are coming. So instead of thinking of everything as a loss or goodbye, think of it as a hello. And it just made it so much better. Like, yeah, I should be happy. I should stop being so sad, And I was thinking of doing a video about post-college life because I feel like not that many people talk about how hard it can be to transition from college to adulthood. So I might film that video. Next, number 3. Gosh, I ramble too much. Number 3, you like because and you love despite. You like because and you love despite. That was from the movie Set It Up. I think it was on Netflix. I'm like trying to remember which movie it was, but I'm pretty sure it was the one with, dude, I don't even remember his name. The one that guy, Glenn Powell, that was on that movie with Sydney Sweeney. And then he was also, I don't know what the movie was called, but he was in that movie with that other girl, I don't know her name. And it's a really cute rom-com. I enjoyed it. I actually liked it better than the one that he did with Sydney Sweeney. Sorry, but I did. I thought it was cuter and just, I enjoyed it more. So it's pretty cute. And I really, really liked it when I heard it. And I wrote, you like someone because of all their qualities and you love someone despite some of their qualities. So yeah, I think when you're in a relationship, you can relate to this. You love someone despite everything, you're not gonna love every single thing about a person, but you're gonna just, unless it's something like super toxic, obviously not, but you're just gonna get over it. There's little things that you might not like about that person, but you're gonna love them through it. And I really love that. You like because and you love despite. you can't get good at something if you never try. You can't, I guess I should reword that because I actually heard this from someone. You can't be good at something if you never try, or you can't get good at something if you never try. I actually heard that from my boyfriend because he tells me that all the time, and I had heard it so many times because he loves to try new things. Like, usually it's like food. He has showed me so many new foods that I would have never thought to eat or to try, and just like activities in general. He is always down to try anything, whether that be food or an activity or a hobby, and I love that. Whereas I am more hesitant. I'm like a picky eater. I always feel like I'm bad at everything, especially when it comes to like any physical activities. Like, I've always sucked at sports and stuff like that, and so I've never really tried to play. But this really, and he used to tell me that all the time, and I never even sat down and thought about it. And I was like, wait, like, you have a really good point. And even though you've told me this like a million times, I'm only just now thinking about it. Like that's really good advice that I should take, but I keep ignoring you because I've heard it like a million times. But it's so true. Like, you can't get good at something if you never try. And so I really, if you don't like to try new things, like, because you're scared, because you feel like, oh, like, people are gonna laugh at me and I'm gonna suck and I'm gonna embarrass myself, which is what I usually think. That's what I usually think. But I need to remember I will never be good with that mindset. I need to have a mindset of like, I can always try, and I can be good at anything that I put my mind to. If I go in with the mindset that I'm not even gonna try because what's the point? I'm gonna suck anyways. I'm not even gonna try that food because I'm not gonna like it. You never know. You never know until you try. You will never be good at something until you try. You will never like certain things until you try them. And so I really need to try more things, whether that be food or hobbies, anything. I can't just not try it because I'm scared or because I think I'm not gonna like it, even though I've never even given it like a good shot, not just like once and I hated it so I never do it again, but actually like try. Number 5, my fridge turned on and it took forever to turn back off, so let's keep going. This is probably my absolute favorite quote of all time, and I actually recently heard this one a few months ago, but I think it's very, very relevant to today. So, number 5, you are but one drop in a limitless ocean, yet what is an ocean but a multitude of drops? Hear that again. Pay attention. You are but one drop in a limitless ocean, yet what is an ocean but a multitude of drops? And I absolutely love that because I feel like there's so many people, and I see this all the time, especially on social media, that think that they are not enough, that what they do doesn't matter. And a lot of people say that they cannot make a change in this world. They can't make a change because they're just one person, and what they do isn't gonna make a difference. What they do isn't gonna make an impact. It doesn't matter. They're just one person from a small town in the US, so it's like, whatever, what am I gonna do? It doesn't matter what I do, what I think. And if you are one of those people, let me tell you that you are wrong. You matter. something good to this world. So don't ever think that you're not good enough, that you don't matter, that your existence doesn't make a difference. Because yeah, you may just be one person. Maybe you live in the middle of nowhere, you're just one person. But you matter. You know how many people are just like you? There's so many people that live in the middle of nowhere and that think they don't matter. But if everybody thinks like that, then nothing gets done. Then there is no change. Every single person can make a difference. If every single person can do something good for this world. So I am begging you, if you are that person, I am begging you, literally begging you, to change your perspective, to look at things differently, and to choose to, know your worth, know the power that you hold. Because change happens when everybody comes together. The people united cannot be defeated. And if every single person thinks that they can make a positive impact in this world, then they can, because the people together can change, and can bring positivity to this world. So please don't think that it's stupid. Please don't think that what you do in your everyday life isn't going to make a difference because you're a nobody. Don't think that. Of course, if you think like that, then you're literally not going to contribute anything. And if everybody thinks like that, then nothing gets done. Nothing will happen. So don't be that person. Unfortunately, there will always be people that do think like that. There will always be people that think that they don't matter and that what they do doesn't matter. But don't be one of those people. Don't let it be you. Just because other people will do it, don't let it be you. Don't be one of them. You are but one drop in a limitless ocean. Yet what is an ocean but a multitude of drops? Every single person matters, and you matter, and you can contribute. So yeah, really think about that one. So those are like my top 5. Those are like my favorite. I I only have 5, and so now I'm gonna read through the Reddit thread. What is your absolutely favorite quote you've ever heard? And I haven't read all of these, but I've read through some. Some of these I like, some of these I don't know, like the ones that I read, I absolutely love those, and they really speak to me. Of course, not everything is gonna speak the same to everyone, but we're just gonna read through what other people love and what speaks to them, because I'm curious, like what do you like to hear? But those are mine. I hope you enjoyed. Those quotes really speak to me. So now let's listen to other people. So number 6 but number 1 on Reddit. A ship is safe in harbor, but that's not what ships are for. A ship is safe in harbor, but that's not what ships are for. I love that. I don't have much to add to this because I haven't thought about any of these quotes. I'm just reading them. I think it's important to always go out of your comfort zone and to try new things. I guess I do have something to say. Don't be afraid to go out of your comfort zone and try new things. I'm pretty bad at this. This is some advice that I need to take myself. I don't like change, but change is inevitable, and change is how you grow. So even though we feel safe in the same routine, oh my gosh, my phone is like, okay guys, okay. see, I'm trying to find like a good one. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. And that is so true, especially like if you're an overthinker. You literally stress about everything. Like, I'm an overthinker, and it's so easy to just make up all the things that can go wrong, all these scenarios in your head. And I think there's like a quote that's like, or like a scene that's like, why would you do that to yourself? Like, why would you like put yourself through something in your head that's never gonna happen? Like, you're literally just torturing yourself because you're literally stressing out over something that's never gonna happen, and that might never happen. Like, that hasn't happened, that isn't happening, and that might never happen. Like, why are you purposely torturing yourself and making yourself stress out over an imaginary problem that hasn't even happened? That is so true. We need to, not make it worse. This one says, be as you wish to seem. Be as you wish to seem. Next, I don't really have much to add to that one. I like this one. Of all sad words of tongue or pen, the saddest are these. Quotation marks. It might have been. Of all sad words of tongue or pen, the saddest are these. It might have been. And I honestly think that about that a lot. Like, you don't want to regret anything. Life is too short to think about what could have been, what might have been. Life is too short, which kind of goes back to the last quote about not, what did it say, like, about the ship, how you have to sail or whatever, because you don't want to regret it, you don't want to look back and said it might have been. Who knows? Next, happiness is to be found along the way, not at the end of the road. Happiness is to be found along the way, not at the end of the road. I love that because, a lot of times, like, I do think of like, oh, I have to, like, when you start, I don't know, when you have a plan and you have a goal, you're like, okay, I'm gonna work really hard for this goal, and then once I reach it, I'm gonna be happy. And honestly, like, it's more about the journey. You have to enjoy the little things in life. You have to enjoy your journey, because then you're not going to be satisfied. Like, you think, oh, I want this degree. You get your degree, you're happy, and then you're not satisfied, and you want more. And you're like, oh, I want this job. You get the job, and then you're like, okay, not satisfied. I want this. I want this house. You get the house. Okay, not good enough. I want to upgrade to this car. You get it. And it's like, okay, what's next? It's like we're always, I don't know if this relates to this quote, but we're always looking for like the next best thing in our life. We're always trying to look for the next goal. It's like once you reach a goal, you like celebrate it for like a day or a few weeks, and then you're like, okay, next, which is good. Like, we should have goals, but then it's like we're never fulfilled. We're never like happy, because we only look at like the big prize instead of taking the time to look at the journey of the things that happen along the way, the people we meet along the way, the memories that we make along the way. Those okay, you're done, next. And it's like, slow down, like enjoy it a little bit longer. Don't rush your life, because everything in between each goal is also beautiful and is also something to be happy about. So next, it's okay to go through awful places, just don't stop and unpack. It's okay to go through awful places, just don't stop and unpack. Love that. I don't really get these, so I'm just kind of skipping over them. Let's see what else. Well, that's sad. Okay, I'm gonna skip this one because it's kind of sad. You want to make this a positive video, not a sad video. It's so interesting to see like people's favorite quotes, you know, like what really speaks to people, what really stands out to them. And I think a lot of it is like the advice that we want. Like, I feel like my favorite quotes are quotes that relate to my life, you know, like whatever you're going through in life, when something speaks to you and kind of inspires you and guides you, that's what we like. And so it's just interesting to see people list like all these quotes that I would have never thought to be super inspired by, you know, because everybody, oh sorry, I shake the camera, everybody is going through something different. So the next one is, the master has failed more often, or the master has failed more times than the beginner has even tried. The master has failed more times than the beginner has even tried. And like a simplified version that they said was, sucking at something is the first step towards being sort of good at something. And that kind of goes to like what I was telling y'all that my boyfriend mentioned. You'll never get good at something if you never try. And then this says sucking at something is the first step towards being sort of good at something. So yeah, this is good. You always gotta try, because we're always gonna suck at something at first, but everybody starts somewhere. Or, you know, some people are naturally talented, okay, but that's not what, I don't think that's what this is talking about. But I do think everybody can eventually learn anything if you put your mind to it. Let's see. Oh, this one's good. This one kind of goes back to like what we've talked about. If you have a problem and then you spend a bunch of energy worrying and fretting about it, then you have two problems. That is so true. Overthinking it, stressing about it, you're just creating maybe even more than two problems. Like, you're overthinking about it, and that's not gonna solve it, so now you have two problems. This is like a long paragraph. Let's just skip through that one. Let's skip through that one. I think this video is getting kind of long, so we'll do like one more, and then we'll wrap up the video. So let's find one more. Oh my gosh, my boyfriend was literally reading this to me the other day. It's from The Office. It says, I wish there was a way to know you're in the good old days before you've actually left them. He's like a big fan of The Office, and he said that he thinks about that quote all the time. And honestly, that's so true. And sometimes he was telling me this too, which is true. Sometimes you do know you're in the good old days. Like, you will be having such a good time. Maybe you're still in college, maybe you're in high school, or you're like at a trip with your friends, and like you're in the good old days, like you're conscious of this, you're aware that it's the good old days, but it doesn't really hit you until after it's gone. Like it's like it's the good old days, but you don't fully like it doesn't hit you until it's too late. It's gone. Your years have gone by. And that's so true. And I think that's why I don't like change, because I feel like every step of my life is like the good old days, and I'm scared to move on and look back and be like, oh my gosh, those were the good old days. Why didn't I enjoy it more? And there's a lot of times where like it happens to me, at least when I'm like on a trip or something, or with my friends, like right before college was gonna end, and it's like, this is gonna be one of the last times that we have moments like this. Like, I don't want it to end. I don't want to move on, because these are the good old days. But life keeps going. Life will just keep going. And I definitely do think that certain stages of our life might be a little bit better, a little bit more exciting than others. But that's just life. It goes up and down. And I wish we could hold on to those days. But more days will come. More good old days will come. So stay positive. I think that's where I'm gonna stop. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna stop it there. So I hope that you enjoyed some of these quotes. I hope that they inspired you a little bit, or they brought a little bit of positivity into your day. I really enjoyed reading these and sharing with you my favorite quotes.